I'll be right back.
Nope, you're in. I'll take you out though. Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Jason Ward. This is a show called The Making Star Wars Show. Yay! All right, I made it. I'm late today, but with good cause. I was just getting some clarification on some things that had been going around in general, and because the leaks are out there, you guys. So if you're like Star Wars Meg, who I love having around, but you don't like general stuff about leaks, any of the general beats, any clarification of things, then you're gonna not want to hang out too much on this one. Um, a lot of people have now seen the last two episodes, and so the shit is around. And wait, I don't want to know the leaks. What the fuck am I doing? I think you're listening to your heart, Meg. That's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy, but there is like stuff out there, and I'm gonna just talk about what's out there. Like I'm not gonna give like the blow by blow of here's what happens. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. Not like this close to the last two episodes, but the shit is going around, and I think like I like knowing what's gonna happen before it happens because, in my opinion, when you see something executed, that's when it matters. I could tell you all I want. I could the prequels are epic if I just tell you about it. You may not agree when you watch it. You
I
may
don't
not.
agree.
Fuck off. That's no, that I mean that said, I mean but it's just it's true. Like I mean like there, context matters, but I assume if you follow this show, you generally follow leaks, and to like some extent, and usually we're dealing in like a lot of ambiguity and stuff like that. So today, if you don't really want any, like I said, we're not gonna do a blow by blow. We're not gonna do it. I want to, but we're not. But so up front, let's just talk a little bit about the fucking picture first, since the picture is kind of the big deal, I guess. There's a picture, and so by the way, if you're jumping out of the spoilers, now it's time to leave. I will miss you. I will miss your commentary, Meg. But also, if you want the spoilers, by all means, pull up a chair, cop a squat. Me and my minge are gonna tell you some news. Today I was talking British. I was talking English, and I was Star Wars Meg,
Minch.
and you were my minge. I meant to say minch. I said minge. Um, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I'm out. Goodbye, Tarth. Oh, come on. Henceforth, you will be known as Darth Mig. Come on. Okay, let me share the image that is going around. I made this image the featured image on this episode, but I don't think it really matters. This is a dude posted this on Reddit today to prove that he wasn't lying, and we have known for a little while that he's not lying. He's telling the truth. And yes, I do know that a minge is a pussy. I am well aware. It's my favorite word. Me minge. It makes me laugh.
Minch.
Minch.
Big Jizz fan. Minches.
So Marva was a Jedi the whole time, and she becomes a Force ghost, right? Right.
Jason, they're gonna believe you. What are you doing? They're not even
So
gonna stick around for the rest. They're gonna take off and run with that, and then you're stuck with it. Mansgold's gonna be
yeah.
mad at you.
Well, remember how earlier, my friend who got this like a few days ago watched it and then was telling me, he's like, remember on your show how you were making fun of when Saw Gerrera's the big dumb hologram? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, Marva becomes the big dumb hologram. And I was like, oh, but this is from like her funeral hologram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not a Force ghost. Like
Matt
I told
Risman
you, like
Matt Risman knows
Lopez,
everything.
Darth Lopez, they're all running around. Wait, really? Like they don't Planet Fitness is like, I knew it. Like, just stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but so this image is like going around, but what's kind of cool.
Unfair.
Well, okay,
Out of context, though, Jason.
here's what I
Right?
didn't like when I first heard it. Okay. Here's what, but I disagree with myself with when I heard more. And that is that Cassian wants to like inform his mother that about what he's been doing, what he's done, that he did what she admired, but it's too late. And I was like, fucking hell, she fucking dies, like she fucking croaks like in between episodes, and I was like, fucking Tony Gilroy, that's pretty much how it would go, right? But that's how it happens, and I was like kind of bummed about it. But then we find out, and this image, that she's fucking talking. She's gonna be the one who she has words beyond the grave, and those words beyond the grave, I think, are a very powerful. It's a more powerful idea than showing her going, doing all that, because right. I mean, it's kind of poetic in a way, like
Tell
in the
Cyril sense. I was right.
Yeah.
Cassian and Cyril brothers. Oh my god! You'll never hear the end of it. No, Cyril is actually his sister.
She goes on the show. She's all Glup Shido is upon us. Glup Shido's a Star Wars holiday on Ferrix in which we rebel. But yeah. But so let's should we do the like self-suck part first?
Oh.
We always like a little bit of self-suck in here. And that's the scoop was that those guys in the place were building the Death Star parts. That was what our scoop was, that they're building Death Star parts in that prison. And then as time went on, I started to go, you know what? Maybe they're just like being told that, you're building Death Star parts on set. Just pretend
to make them
that way.
Feel important.
That way you just know what you're doing. You're building the fucking Death Star, or something like that. And I was like, well,
that's what they tell Robert Rodriguez. He just goes back in this corner and keeps making the parts, playing the guitar. You're playing Death Star tunes, and he's like, oh yeah.
But I've now heard this from about 4 different people that this is a the post credits thing is the parts are going to the Death Star, and they're part of it. So it's like the whole thing. So that scoop panned out, along with a very ominous ending.
I was hoping they were building Jim's Kozlov, but I suspect once the Oronauts gets done with this, they will be building Jim's Kozlov.
Yeah.
So I have 2 competing canons right now for me: Oronauts canon and Lucasfilm canon, and
So the leak says Andor and Melshi flee from Narkina, and then each go their own way. Yeah, it's like they both are like basically hanging on a precipice, kind of find a ship, try to stick the ship, end up finding these guys. These guys are having a bad time because of the stuff going on, and then they end up getting to, what's that planet called? Space Miami? Vamos? I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, where Andor got captured?
Yeah, where he got LAPD'd. Right. Yeah, they end up going back there, and for obvious reasons, why you would think, and then they kind of go their own ways. Naemos, thank you, Mr. Rissman. Always could rely on Matt to be my recall, my total recall, my 3-titted alien of a friend.
Mm-hmm. West End Matt, or Rissman. West End Matt, get it, West End. James is like, I had it first, I knew it,
And then there's kind of a fucking Soylent Green kind of thing, almost. That's rather beautiful. A very fucking Pink Floyd aspect of the show, and that's people get put in bricks when they die. And remember that trailer with that kid? So shit
Yeah.
will, kind of like go on there. And so we see that like it's kind of cool in a way. It like also, I don't know, is it poetic that Cassian, I called him Cassian, Cassian's mom is a fucking like kind of like mother of the rebellion from his world. he's he's like a fucking son of a rebel. Sounds like a bad slur. I guess son of a rebel. But
Well, her maiden name was Duplo, so it makes sense.
right,
Now she's a leg ghost, a leg
Legos.
ghost, leg
Yeah,
ghost, leg ghost,
yeah.
leg ghost. Whatever.
But yeah, there's the whole thing. I mean, it, like I said, I'm not gonna do the blow by blow or anything like that, but it sounds fucking good. It sounds really good. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less than good at this point, if not great. And yeah, I'm fucking excited. And
Hope we all live long enough to see it.
oh no, we won't.
What?
We won't.
What?
So this is
Well, then we know the ending, and you guys don't. So
this is how Star Wars ends for you guys. Yeah.
the
welcome.
one time we don't spoil anything. We're like, we know it, but we're not telling you.
Anthropologists will somehow recover this data in 2,000 years and will be like, so they all gathered around a computer, and then that's where they told their stories.
we can't let Putin know the end to Andor is really what it is. We can't. Right. So
right. We all know that at the end for Putin is a little fucking gun in his mouth. Jason's Star Wars is Jason still talking about The Simpsons? I am. I'm Simpsons at the end of Andor. Simpsons did it. Turns out people have been putting bricks and being thrown and all that kind of stuff to start an uprising. But
it was at our Folgers coffee cans, and someone had to break it to Gilroy that was taken.
So. Yeah. So first, well, if boomers were on TikTok, first one to do the brick in the wall song with it, ready to go, 500 hits at least. 500 at least.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, originally in my script for The Adventures of Star Killer, they all became brooms, and they were known as the Broomers. It was the Broomer generation at the end, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when they die from the Clone Wars, they become brooms, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was the me-sweep generation.
Look at Marva, George. Look at
her. That's hot.
Look at her in that.
Yeah.
The picture's like,
yeah.
Sometimes I like to put my fingers in my armpits and smell it.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, well, Jason, Woodstock was not clean, sorry to say.
It's people in the bricks. It's people.
Sad fact of the 60s was the Hells Angels were better clean than the women, sadly. Yeah,
are the baby broomers the broom boy fans who got old quick? That makes sense.
Yeah. Rian, that's where we put that in there. It's second generation broomers. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be a brick now. Bye.
Yeah. I just hope Bix is okay. I heard a rumor that Bix is signed
another Bix in the wall, huh, Jason?
Another bricks in the wall. Bricks in the wall.
Bix in the wall, dude. Come on, I gotta get them all in before everyone else. I gotta get them in. I gotta be the first, Jason, with the puns. We got a clear shot to over punning those last two episodes before anyone else can. And we got to get in.
In the alternate universe where Star Wars is real and we live in it, I see Bix and I walk into her shop and I go, "Oh, what is this? A Bix and mortar shop?" And then she looks at me and hates me, and I have to leave. And that was my half a shot. I didn't really have a shot, but I shot my shot, and it was bad. It was bad. I thought that's what I would have said too. That's what would have came to my head right then. So, yeah. It sounds like Bix is going to be really fucked up after being mentally worked, so. But She kind of looks like in that picture. Kind of looks like that one dude from Kids in the Hall. You know, that
Oh yeah,
Brain
the guy who
Candy.
was the Urkin head of the Urkin Empire in Zim. Yeah. Oh, everybody! Oh, hey. Oh, that guy, right? Talks with his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that one where he was like dancing in the background, like a German or something? Like he's just in the background, like I don't know. It's one of those weird Kids in the Hall scripts.
Brain Candy with Bix. But so is it the weirdest fucking transition ever to go over and do the Star Wars Santa thing? Because we're gonna fucking tear this thing up right now.
Right. We got to
Let's
give all wrong answers. Let's be dead last. Let's
let's
you know?
just
Yeah.
okay.
Let's game the system. You know.
Okay.
Let's
And inadvertently teach you how to do it right. Oh, by the way, they added an option now where when you share a screen, you can make it pop up automatically. And I said, yes, I will be doing that. StreamYard, I will be taking this option. Thank you. Okay, so what is your name? Making Star Wars shit up. That's our new name. Okay. A stormtrooper gets killed with a blaster shot. Oh wait, the only thing about it is 10 and they all kind of run together.
You know, Jason, there's a good chance we could legitimately get them all wrong because his questions are so not pertinent to what's actually happening in the show. He just made them up at the beginning before there was any show, and he's just kept them all the way through.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance, you know.
Okay, well, this is about the first part, and if I got my shit straight, the Marva stuff won't happen until the second part. So we probably won't have stormtroopers getting killed in the next one, though, right? So we're good. So do we say yes or do we say no? I don't remember how to do this wrong. I say no.
Oh,
okay.
No.
A droid is referred to by
that
name.
one I legitimately can't answer though. Like,
right?
I don't know. Yeah.
No, a droid is not referred to by name. A hyperspace tunnel. No. A space battle happens between different ships.
No. Definitely does not happen.
We're gonna have Luthen's fight coming up, but we're gonna say no because we're getting them all wrong. We see a named character from another series, movie, novel, or comic. No. Partisans are in the episode. Yes, but no.
No, Jason, you're not doing it right. Just say no, and they'll get what we're saying.
Oh, okay.
We don't see. That's how you don't break embargo.
Yes, we see a flashback scene. Someone steals something valuable. Oh man, that's like a weird one always.
What if it's our parts, Jason?
Wait, no, actually, no. They don't steal something valuable to get off that planet.
What if it's Cyril's virginity, though? Like, is that valuable? Like, only a doty mother knows for sure, right? Jason?
No, actually, it actually is a debt because I think Cyril would have to pay for it. So it's actually not valuable. Sex debt.
He owes it to Perrin, though.
It's Cyril Karn, sex debtor. We visit a new planet for the first time in live action. Yep, we totally go to a new planet.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's Darkina 6.
It's Narkina 1138.
A species talks another language with subtitles to translate. Oh, of course they do. And they did that every episode now. Okay. Troopers, Clone, Storm are in the episode. One or more together. No fucking way. What is it? Star Wars? A light side force user makes an appearance. Of course. Quinlan Voss is in this episode. Darth Vader and Palpatine make an appearance or is referred to
Clo Poon is in this episode.
No. Someone gets arrested by the Empire.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone gets arrested. Someone wears a disguise. Nope.
Wait, did I do that right? I can't remember.
I'm not really sure, but we're just gonna go with it. A character is wounded but not killed. Oh yeah. They're all wounded but not killed. A character is killed. Yep. Well, yeah. Dying and being killed is different. Star Wars sling. Oh yeah, they're saying Dank Ferrick. They're saying Nerf Herder. They're saying Poodoo. They're saying all kinds of stuff. I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh, of course, because this is a George Lucas
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. I mean, it's what? Come on, Star
Right.
Wars.
Okay, so in this one, and Andor gets put back in prison, and he loves it.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say menage a trois with the driver, Cyril, and Perrin.
Driver, Serial, and Perrin.
It's a Chilandrin trois. Chilandrin
Perrin.
trois. Yeah.
Oh, and Mothma's daughter.
No, Jason, that's not. No, Jason, you're gonna get us in trouble.
Why?
Don't you dragging the kids into your predictions
of a broken heart.
Oh, you're killing kids now, Jason.
Yeah, I'll do it again. All right. Hey, I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid of anybody. I ain't afraid of nothing. Okay, we did it.
Syphilis says otherwise, Jason.
But, oh, okay. Shit. Does syphilis itch or does it burn?
Only Santa knows for sure.
Because I think I got both.
All I'm saying is, you know, all those milk and cookies come with the price, Jason. You know what I mean?
So I just decided I'm switching to hot tea full time now. There's this thing that happens every single day where I get a big cup of coffee and I put it down and we start the show and I'm like just drinking it, and then we start talking for a while, then I go to drink it and I'm surprised by an ice cold bitter taste cup of coffee and I'm like, bleh! But just now it happened to me.
You don't like ice cold coffee?
I like iced coffee. I just don't like fucking like cold.
But Jason,
coffee. But anyways, I just had a delicious glass of iced tea. Surprise!
Just get a thermos, man, and pour in the cup as you go. You don't see me bringing out the thermos when I want the hot coffee. I get the Mandem thermos.
You're like an army guy or something.
Look, I was as nerdy in the army. I'll show you the one picture I ever took of me. I normally post on Veterans Day, but I just forgot this year. But I'll send it to you after the show, Jason.
Okay.
You'll be impressed and saddened that this is, it's about what you'd expect.
Right. Yeah. Rob's writing a book about his time there called "Thank You for Your Disservice." I'm kidding.
Bad form, Peter. Bad form.
I'm kidding. I mean, come on. Oh, I went to the military. Now everybody needs to thank me. Yeah, thank yourself.
Yeah, you got me.
I got you. That's you. You're all, hey, I fought for this country, and I ain't gonna hear you disparaging it or nothing. And I was like, okay.
Oh, you can leave. You can.
Yeah. Love it or leave it is what you said.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And then, I'm on my way.
And I said, you're right. I said, fuck that Putin. And you're like, hey, man, Putin's honorable. He's a good guy. He's
rides a horse. What are you gonna do?
He's got big titties and he rides a horse topless.
Yeah, it's got big titties.
Big titty top.
It's got big titties. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, those are some big titties. Yeah. All right. Well.
All right.
Meg, we won't talk about those spoilers anymore. People in the chat might though. I can't be certain that they won't. So that's the risk. But we did it, Meg. We did it, Meg. Yeah. What do you mean Planet Fitness on the Andor script? You mean for like season 2? Okay.
Oh, the one Planet Fitness is writing with Cadence. They're right now, and James. They're all getting together.
Yeah,
scripts.
Where's Johnny been?
I'll tell you what it was. Do you want some Johnny news? Right?
Johnny news.
We're on
Johnny on the spot. So, Johnny news.
So I'm like super helpful with Johnny, and then like last week I noticed in the chat he was just talking shit about me for some reason. Yeah, like he's being fun, right? Busting my balls. I'm like, oh, look at that, just unprovoked starting shit with Rob. I mean, really talking shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll let it go. And then I made
thanks
a joke
for your disservice.
I made a joke about that PC card thing, right? Right, and it got to him, bro. Like he raged at me on Instagram, and then I just sent him a "Why So Serious" gif, and he didn't know how to take it, and doesn't talk to me now. So.
Yeah. Well,
look, if you're gonna bust balls, and just deal with it, bro. It's not serious.
If you're gonna drop out 3D card numbers and think I'm not gonna make fun of you, even if
Yeah,
I would make fun of myself. If you think I'm not gonna make fun of myself, I'm gonna make fun of
it's
you.
like, am I arguing with Digital Foundry here? Like, what is this? Is the nerdiest fucking shit ever. Like,
Yeah.
we got into it at the software etc. Jason.
But here's
But
how
we made up
pathetic-
at the Sweet Factory.
Here's
Like,
how sad it is in like real life though. In like Andor, you know, like these guys are like all like building these parts and shit. Like they're on this like assembly line, and then like you see like this big space station at the end. In real life, like you have that happen, and then it's just like some fucking dude like playing like Xbox at the end, like cool, you know, or some shit like that. It's really way lamer and sadder in a different way. But to talk about the but we do miss you, Johnny, you little bitch. I love you. Has anyone heard any news on Andor script?
Jason's like, he has all my songs. I have to be nice.
Oh, God, come on, man. It's okay. I put them out. Nobody cares, so you can put them out. Nobody will care. Planet Fitness says,
"Chomp the frogs, Jason.
Chomp the frogs coming. Care. It's coming.
They're gonna care.
Baby gonna chomp the frog. Baby gonna chomp the frog. Baby gonna chomp the frog. Cause he's green. Okay, but I don't really think that there's really a lot that we could say about it. I think only Tony Gilroy and his partners would really know. But the
hey, Jason, hold on. It just popped in my head. Meg, leave. I'll get 3, 2, 1. She's a brick house, right?
Oh, she is. She is a brick house. Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
I had to do it. I gotta get in the puns before anyone else. Like,
I don't think Meg would have figured that out on that one. But anyways, what I was gonna say was, people oftentimes think that like scripts not being done or being in some state while production goes on, and the closer we get, it's like a super serious time to freak out kind of thing. With somebody like Gilroy and his team, they're going like sets and locations need to be built, and rehearsals need to go down at some point. But when he's like, I need to finish, they probably are several drafts into these scripts already, and it's like polishing and critiquing and revising. So I don't think it's like the doom and gloom that some of like the dummies would have you think. I think it's the people who don't understand how writing and how production generally works. Like, for instance, still don't know how accurate it is, although I do believe it to be accurate. When episode 9 was being shut down because Trevorrow exited the picture, was fired, exited, however you want to put it. I was told that Rian Johnson was going to be picking up, and that he was, and this is before anybody knew that they were fired, and he was going to be going down to Pinewood to say, keep it, scrap it, keep it, scrap it. And that way they didn't have to completely start from scratch, and that way they could save cost and not inflate the budget. So anyways, point being is that that's how this stuff works. Like, if you know you're going to have a castle location in Last Crusade, you might not know what the castle is, but the producer can budget that we need a castle set, and that we're going to need a castle location shoot, and that kind of shit. And you start to be able to get sort of an idea of what the movie's going to cost, or the production. And on a show like Andor, if you noticed, we keep going back to the same sets, but it's not tedious. But like
there's something else though.
Yeah.
Jason, there's something else I think it was the interview with Jeff Goldsmith, I think, that Gilroy had, where he said, Jeff asked him, is there anything from the previous stuff you've done that helped inform your work on Andor, or maybe even the next season? And he was thinking about it, and he said that the biggest mistake that you can make is, just because you had success on one project, is taking that process and trying to reapply that successful formula to the next project. Each project has its own way of going, and you have to be able to adjust to that. And I think that kind of adjustment is something I'm always talking about. That's the not quite iteration, but that inability to adjust is what drives a lot of creatives to fail, because they get it in their mind that they're going to do one thing, and when it be slowly becoming something else, They're like, no, it's that thing. That's what there has to be that thing. That's what it was. It was always that thing. And it's like, if that were the case, you'd never end up with Star Wars 77 if you went with the first draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like let alone the final edit, which is still way different,
what Rob is saying is if Lucas hadn't said, this is not a remake of the Hidden Fortress. If Lucas was insistent in his brain that this is a remake of Hidden Fortress, this is a remake, this is what it is, then
there's gonna be a fire dance,
Yeah.
a lot of not talking.
Yeah. But I mean, and Gilroy gives some pretty fucking solid advice about being a writer throughout shit, but he's not doesn't sugarcoat it a lot. He talks about who the dumb guys are in the room and what it's like working with the dumb guys in some of those interviews. And I appreciate it. I wish those master class things weren't usually so fucking corny, because if he did one, it'd probably be pretty fucking good.
The Cameron one's pretty good. It's not
Cameron
corny.
one's good. Yeah.
It's like you get a bit of editing. It's really good. It's helpful.
Bob Chapek I would say too, lose your hair, and then you get mad and you get the drive to compete.
More than that, Bob Paycheck is like, hey, just fire all your creative, right? Fire and cut the budgets and everything, because that's what's going to get people to spend money. Inferior product. That's how we do it.
Yeah. He's all. It's okay. All these fuckers have inferiority complexes, anyways. That's why they want this.
Don't you love going to Disneyland and all the rides are closed? Makes you want to come back, huh, Jason?
I love it.
Yeah, that's what you do.
All I'm saying is under the last guy, I had an annual pass the whole time. Under the new guy, I haven't had one at all. I mean, is it a coincidence?
Jason, you can't even just go on the rides if you went to the park. You have to pre-book everything.
They were doing that for a while. Then they stopped doing it on like the Star Wars Resistance ride. I actually appreciated it.
I never thought I'd go, I wish for the days of Michael Eisner. Oh, shit.
All right, how about Michael Clayton?
This motherfucker looks like I'm gonna get on a fucking rant about this. He's a thumb-looking piece of shit he's the worst. He's the fucking worst, man. He's a motherfucker who made it. Not like he's the only one who ever did it, but like he really made it difficult for folks to even work. The people are sleeping in their cars and shit. Like it's just it's fucking asshole, dude. Built that stupid starboat, galactic starship fucking thing that won't go away.
Yeah,
it's just spreading COVID around the world. Like, oh no, it doesn't go anywhere, right? It's not a real boat, so it just spreads COVID in Orlando, which I suppose I should be happy. I don't. They won't get vaccinated. It's not my fault. He's just I can't stand Jason. You remember like it's like how do I say this? If you're like, hey man, my restaurants. You ever watch those Kitchen Nightmares?
Nah.
And you go in there and
I watch cool shit.
I watched it. I watched it for the first couple seasons, and it's like they go in this. Ramsey goes in this restaurant. It's not working, and like, yeah, it's not working. We have to cut all the quality, the food. Like all the food has to go out. It's a big menu, but it's all shit. And they go out there and serve them fucking the worst fucking food. And like, how are you supposed to charge people for this? Who's gonna come back? The reviews. There's what word of mouth are you gonna get? Like, yeah, you have to be responsible, but that means you pare down what you're doing. Or you increase the quality, you know what I mean? You got to make structural changes in the leadership. This is not a guy who takes leadership advice.
So are you suggesting we get Ramsey to go in for park rescue, and he just fucking takes Chapek?
Yeah, I think fucking Gordon Ramsay should go into Disney Park Rescue and fucking teach this thumb-looking Hank Schrader motherfucker. Wish he was fucking Hank Schrader. That guy had a fucking.
You call this a turkey
That guy
leg?
did the right fucking. That guy wasn't a fucking. Pussy, I can't fucking stand this shit, dude. Like every time I hear this, I'm like, what are you doing, man? These are people's fucking lives, and like he just, not my problem, fire everyone, cut it. Get my bonus. I guarantee that motherfucker gets a $20 million payout next year. Just a bonus. Just wait for it. And then they're gonna be like, it's because Avatar didn't make $3 billion every time. Like that's not it.
But remember, he's gonna have to pay about almost half, like 30% of that around or more towards taxes. He's have to give another 10, 15 million to.
You think he pays taxes, Jason? When you make $20 million, you don't have to pay taxes.
No, but he's gonna have to give a lot of that to stopping gay marriage, and like he's not gonna have that much money to himself at the end. Our poor guy. Sorry, I don't give a fuck about any of them. I mean about that part. Herman's head. Paul Herman. Paging Dr. Herman.
Yeah, why isn't
Dr.
Herman's
Herman.
head on Disney Plus? Fucking asshole.
I got God. Remember that other show that used to come on with it where it was like Ellen was on it? I think Ellen was on it as like a nobody, like a small bit part, and they like sold real estate with like a girl with like long red hair. It was
that didn't last
terrible.
a season.
It probably was. I don't know. Yeah,
that was that Fiducci moment, right?
It was that
and
Gary Shandling show was somewhere in there as well.
That was on Showtime though. That was good.
No, that's a different show. The Gary Shandling show was a Fox show. Then he went
I'm thinking about
you're thinking of that one after.
Him and him up the Gary show. Him and him up the Gary show.
It might bring the same song.
Watch it.
but anyways,
what?
Yeah. But yeah, I got the me and the kids the Marvel Unlimited, and I hadn't been paying attention to the comics in a while. And the one thing about that I liked when they rebooted the Star Wars comics, you know how like they hit like a number and then they just like flip over and start over back to like number 1. When they did it for this current iteration of the Star Wars comics, they started at issue 108. So and then they did like a new Marvel comic from the original line. So like they have like all the original like characters from the original Marvel run are back for like one issue, and then we get to issue 1. And it's Star Wars number 1, but it's like Empire Strikes Back era. I personally would have called it Empire Strikes Back number 1 and just went with that era being Empire Strikes Back the era, but that's just me. But it's been a fun afternoon. It is
clever, clever, but you got to be really old to get the joke.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. It's a good time. But I'm gonna I'm going to break the school's rules because school is dumb. School's teachers are dumb usually, and so I'm gonna let the kids read comic books all for reading time after school instead of the stupid school books, because I didn't read the stupid school books, and I'm a pretty good reader. And it was from comic books, so I'm going to let the kids read comic books. I'm going to see if they take to the Marvel Unlimited. I'm going to do it with them a few times, see if I can kind of build the habit and see if they stick to it. If they do, I'll continue.
If they really want to read, they should be reading Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. You're going to get tons to read. A lot of text. God,
what is he? What is he? A fucking Columbine killer from fucking?
It's even better, Jason. It's even better. If you've never read it, you're in for a treat. You're in for I envy
dude.
I
had a girlfriend in 1999 who used to draw him at the swap meet on shirts. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
that was like her thing. She was really good at drawing it, and she would airbrush that shit out to La Mirada swap meet.
Yeah,
I probably had one. But the problem was guys listening to Marilyn Manson showing up on rollerblades who liked it too and had to ruin it.
Never been a Marilyn Manson guy. Never.
Yeah, but that's what happened for me.
Never been my thing.
It was like very
musically, just don't care.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's never been good. I don't like theater rock. The Old Republic says this is the best place on earth for solid leaks. Yeah, I will say I
leak myself right now.
No, no, I don't want to bust like Meg's balls about the Grand Vizier kind of thing. But that guy was mentioned. No, but that guy was like mentioned. That is a thing. So it was rooted in reality. That's what's important.
Someone said busting balls. I just had to show it.
Oh, hey, Filoni, how are you?
Can't wait.
You know what, Filoni? I started reading the Mando comic today to see what it was like. I gotta be honest. It was a little bit fun. I think I'm gonna see how my kid likes it. But I feel like if you're doing an adaptation of the TV show, I think it should look a lot better.
That's why I read the My Little Pony books, Jason. I'm a little brony. I'm brony Filoni. All right, that's enough.
No, I mean, I wanted to ask you what you thought about that though.
I'm sorry. I'm up in my own head right now. What'd you ask?
I mean,
Brony Filoni hit my head. I'm like, why did I think of this 2 years ago? It's so good. All right, go ahead. Question again.
If you're going to do a comic book adaptation of Mandalorian season 1,
okay,
shouldn't the art be fucking like brilliant? Like shouldn't it be like really good? Like,
what do you mean by really good?
Like
realistic. It should look like the show.
Not necessarily,
because I don't agree with that at all.
I don't feel like that is what I mean. Like
Because
it just
I don't like the comics where they're just tracing over photos of the actors to get the likeness, and they change the body with a poser model or some
no,
fucking
that's
thing
not.
out of Clip Studio Paint.
No,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like it looks exactly like any comic book that would be put out at the same time, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like when everything that they're doing is based on something that like already exists, you would think that like either it would expand the episode or it would visually enhance in some way, like the artwork would be, because the story's already done. Like I know it's an adaptation. The story has to be a script and stuff. But am I wrong? Am
The
I
artist should
wrong?
turn on the episode and start
Well,
drawing the
okay.
episode.
Wait, hold on. I'm
Well,
gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up just so that way you know what I'm talking about. That way, like it's like we're kind of on the same page with this one, or you know what I'm talking about, because I might be wrong. I mean, there might be industry reasons that make what I want not reasonable, and I'm okay with that. If that's the case, it's just like a
look, if
lot
it's
of the.
me, Jason, and I have unlimited funds, I'm gonna have Oliver Vatine.
Oh, I
Is
thought you were
draw
gonna
it.
say. I
And
thought you were
Oliver,
gonna
no,
say
Oliver
Olivia.
Vatine's one of the.
If
Is
if
my
I had
opinion. You know,
if
he.
I had unlimited funds, Olivia Munn's gonna read it to me topless. I mean, that's where I was going with it.
Overrated. Overrated.
Well,
That fucking horrible site. I don't want to get into the
agree to
dialogue. I don't want to
disagree.
get into it. So, just because it's that whole
All right,
like, oh, she
fine.
looks like a wizard casting call, like whatever. So, but
Wizard, I say.
yeah, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, Oliver Vatine. Yeah, he's the one who did the art on the Heir to the Empire for the first half of it, or almost all of it. And at the very end, they got Terry Dodson. And like it. He did
Okay,
a
this
recent
is
one-shot issue of Hellboy this year.
this
It's
is
really good.
this is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, Jason, look, man, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, that's not my kind of art. I don't know, man. Like it looks like a comic
Yeah,
book. So
yeah.
I think the
Okay.
question is more the thing I think you're more onto a point here is if it is just a beat by beat of the episode and there's nothing like a new POV, there aren't extended bits, right? Then what is
That's
the
what it
point?
is.
Because you have the episode. So at least in the if you remember the Star Wars: A New Hope manga that Hideo Tamaki did. Hideo, anyway, brilliantly illustrated, the best of all the manga stuff. It won an Eisner. It has no equal. But even that had little pieces of stuff that was like cut that you can see, or it changed the perspective or dynamics of like the Obi-Wan Vader fight is way better than the actual fight in the movie.
The opening,
it's epic.
the opening of Star Wars number one, of the new Star Wars number one, opens up with like the motion comic stuff on Luke losing his hand and that whole "I am your father" moment. It's fucking awesome. Like it's truly good. I actually almost filmed it and just send it to you. Like look how good this is, and it's stylized. And I sometimes read the adaptations of the Marvel comics of the movies. Like I've done that before, so I don't discount like the value in this and just wanting to experience it. I kind of think some readers reading this would help them see the comics cinematically by understanding how this translates to from screen. Sort of helps you understand how it would work on screen and what it would mean. Maybe what, because this is the show script turned to comic basically. But my whole thing is like, I don't know, like whenever like I imagine this moment in my head, it just the art, like the guy is just not like really. It's like very, I don't know. Is it impressionistic on that face on the alien? That's not what the alien looks like. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, but Jason, again, I think you're falling into that. It needs to look just like it's cartoony, man. Like, and
Yeah.
there's all you can't infinitely zoom in on the page, and then you don't want to take frames and trace over it. That gets into a whole nother suite of problems. So, I just think again, for me, my favorite Star Wars comic it's a toss up between that manga adaptation of the first movie and the Underworld Carlos Maglia issues that he did back in 2002, 2003-ish. And so that featured Han Solo and Lando, and they didn't look like the actors, but they're clearly the characters. Like you can tell who they are. So, and I think that kind of art becomes timeless when it starts to fall into like actors' likenesses too much. Like Oliver Vatine would be the other one, the heir to the Empire stuff, because it looks like Luke, it looks like Leia, it looks like Han and Solo, but it's not so stringent to the actors that it ends up looking like traced faces or anything like that. That guy's just a brilliant illustrator. Go read his Hellboy issues. One shot.
Okay,
awesome.
get off my ass.
I know.
Hey,
Rob, why are you so mean to Jason? God.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Rob. I'm the comic binge. My name is Paul. How are you, sir?
Oh, okay. I was like,
who the hell is this guy?
Could I be meaner? I don't think I
know. It's all good. But by the way, Rob, I love your rants. I legitimately love them because they're so passionate. And I'm being serious. I've told Jason this a couple weeks ago. I love them. They're genuine. And I love that about you. You're unabashedly you. And I disagree with you sometimes, but hey, it's cool. It's all good, you know, but I love the passion. So, and we're both Avatar fans. Legit. Like, I love Avatar. So
he does.
I do.
The show. I mean,
I'm just waiting for Paycheck to throw that movie under the bus. That's how we didn't like. Oh, shut up. Movie was funded before you ever bought that fucking company.
Yeah. Well,
is it going to be on Disney Plus after 45 days? Do we know that yet? I'm still curious about that.
It's a 20th Century Fox. I gotta wonder. Maybe it'll be on Hulu after 45 days. You know?
Oh,
you know what?
That's where Prey went to. Prey went to Hulu.
Bespin suggested might be on HBO Max because of another deal that they had that was older.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Where some of those movies were some of the Fox movies do go on HBO Max.
Isn't Avatar on or Disney Plus now though, isn't it?
It was, and then they removed it for the re-release.
Well, right, but it was. So I think it's going to be probably. Yeah, it's got to come back again. I would imagine. So.
Well, if I had to put money on it, I'd say yeah. But
yeah, I agree.
We're also talking about a service that makes no sense. So.
Well, we're talking about Wakanda Forever, and someone on a YouTube show I was watching made actually a really good point. Even though I love Wakanda Forever a lot, I think it's amazing. Someone did make a good point saying that it's hard to go from watching the trailer for Way of Water to like this other, CGI underwater thing, which doesn't look as good. It still looked good, but it wasn't like as crisp and as nice as Avatar: Way of Water. But you
all wanted a serious Winter Soldier like film, and you got one. You got one. You said, I don't want fancy colors. I want grit. I want realism.
Rob, I didn't say this.
You got
Paul
it.
said it.
You got that movie.
I didn't say it.
Shovel it. You just eat that malto meal. You just shovel it in there. Right? That's how it goes. You wanted a serious film. You got one.
Hey, I love these serious films.
It was funny. I've been actively ignoring the Marvel talk, Jason, for 4 days now, and like it took a comic book guy to break it, right, Jason? Like he goes right on.
Rob, I gotta get you on my show, homie. Like I gotta break because you drawn comics, you know the industry, but way better than I'll ever do. I have to get you on sometime. So please let me beg you to come on. Well, you worked in it. I love. Hey, you know more than I
do. Yeah. Sure. All right.
Anyway,
to quote the editor-in-chief of IDW at one point, not now, old editor-in-chief.
I think
I am irrelevant. I am irrelevant.
No, you're not. You're not, sir. You're not. Not to me.
That's what Tony Gilroy said when he quit music. That quitter.
Poor guy. Look, I still stand by, man, Jason. Had you gone and like Jimi Hendrix is sitting there and Eric Clapton's an asshole, but you know what I mean? All that talent's playing. Mm-hmm. You check yourself a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, but
you think that's gonna last forever? That kind of 70s, like,
yeah,
you think that's gonna never go away?
Since when he quit, we've had it proven time and time again that he quit. That he didn't need to quit. A good songwriter and a good player aren't the same thing. And
he never would have got the cutting edge if he had quit.
He values songwriting, but then he quit because he wasn't a good player. So he quit for the wrong reasons. He should have quit for being a bad songwriter, but he quit for being a bad player. But he was a good songwriter.
So before I have to head out, because I head out in like 5 minutes here. But thank you for having me on again, Jason. I really
You're always welcome, dude.
Oh, seriously, thank you. And Rob, again, it's an honor to talk with you. I'm a big fan. To follow up on your guys.
Tell my wife you said that.
I am. I legitimately am. To follow up what you were saying, Jason, about adaptation of The Mandalorian, and I 1000% agree with you. The problem with adaptations is that they're just like the original, like Marvel, or not the original, but the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, they offered nothing. And the art, here's what I would say, the art suffers. And again, Rob, I'm not sure if you would agree with this. It feels like the industry there's a lack of powerful talent as far as artists goes. Like there's good artists out there, but there's not like an Al Williamson who did the Return of the Jedi art, which is incredible. And he does obviously all the newspaper strips and whatnot. There's not a lot of guys who are demanding, or women, I should say as well, obviously. I think they're so good, and you put on Star Wars, they're going to drive people to buy it because it looks amazing, right? So they're just slopping anything on there and be like, "Her, just put this artist on here and let's get it out." And that's comic book industry in general. But the thing is,
where were you in the 80s and 90s when Marvel and Dark Horse were putting out all those brilliantly illustrated comics that were breaking?
He read them all.
Oh,
he knows them all.
Dark Empire, Holmes. Okay. Cam Kennedy. Come on, don't even start.
Yeah, because you know how accurate all those colors are to the world of Star Wars. Like, could you imagine?
Right, but the thing, but like,
could you imagine doing a whole Star Wars series where everything's purple, green, and red? Like that's it.
It's incredible. I grew up on it.
It's incredible because you grew up with it, but I'm just telling you, if that was it now, we'd be hearing about it's just too impressionistic. That doesn't look like the series.
Agreed.
I think there should be more impressionistic things. I
agree.
Adhering to the specifics of the movies in a book form is a bad idea. Case in point, if you remember, the manga adaptation of The Phantom Menace was woefully not given enough volumes, but the art itself was brilliant. Like the Kia Azamiya artwork is quite good. So and if you go look at the Dark Horse adaptation of The Phantom Menace, that's playing to your American comic standards of the time. Yeah. So really they're just looking at who they believe they're, as with any company that sells art or entertainment, they're looking at their base, right? The base that they're selling to. And if they're like, hey, we think it's a 40-year-old guy, we want to appeal to the 40-year-old guy. If we're trying to get younger readers, it's going to appeal to whatever younger readers are. So everyone's got a bean mouth and, like that's fine.
Right.
But I wish they would. But yeah. But if you're saying if why isn't it more of a prestige thing, like Dave Dorman isn't painting the whole issue, why?
Yeah,
Dave Dorman should have painted.
Yeah,
you're right. They should, and then you go on. You know how much it's going to cost us? Look, and I've told editors and I've told publishers this, right? I've told this to people and they all laugh at me. But I've said, if you're a comic book studio that is owned by a major company like Disney or Warner Brothers, so you do the math on who I'm talking about here, right? I believe your comics should be ran at almost a net. Like everyone should get paid at how do I say? All the comics should be run at like a nonprofit thing. They should all be ran at it's R&D for future projects, because
that's what they're doing now.
These comics, but they should be paying people who do those jobs really well and giving them more time. You don't need the volume of product. You need less
1,000%.
product at a higher quality, right? And then give everyone a base. If you're a penciler, you get this base rate. If you're a penciler with us, after, say you re-up your contract for 2 years, you go into phase 2 of your contract, it goes to this tier. This way, everyone knows what they're making, and everyone gets the time to produce these things that we know we're going to use to make $1 billion later. So it doesn't matter if we only have an operating budget of $10 million for our comics. We can run this at $50 million because it's going to make us $1 billion on the next set of 5 Star Wars movies, if we play that right. But they don't think this way. Like when I tell them, they're just, what are you doing? You don't understand what will the shops do? It goes on and on and on. It's a complex conversation.
Yeah, I have to jump off in a few minutes here, but
okay.
First of all,
you have to go, just go. And
okay,
we understand. But
all right,
stay,
so
as long as you
but
can.
yeah, no, but really quick, you bring up everything. See, that's why I have to have you on the comic bench sometime, Rob, because I would love to break down like all that stuff, because there's a lot of complications with comic books and honestly, people affording them. I think that's another issue, and those are all things to talk about. Before I let out, I just wanted to say, the comic books. There's a lot of great Star Wars comic books with Marvel. They're not all great, but the adaptations I usually stay away from, because they're just they don't offer anything of value besides the fact I love the medium of comic books, and I need them for my canon shelf if they don't release it in physical form like The Mandalorian. So I will be buying, unfortunately, The Mandalorian comic books because they're not giving me 4K, so I have no choice. I have to use it for, so It sucks, but
Give it
whatever.
4K. That's a what? You just
4K?
Eddie Valianted
4K,
me.
bud.
You ripped off the. I'm running right into the wall. You where? What are we? 4K comic books? What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
well, because really quick, Rob, I collect physical copies of all the Star Wars canon. Yes, the current canon. No, not much to your chagrin. And
Okay.
I put it all. I haven't put it properly assigned it, but I get all the books, the novels, the movies.
Can't
Well, the Disney Plus, they don't have these things I can buy physically, so I have to
I
replace it with something else, which will be a comic book now instead. So they got my money, unfortunately. But the last thing I'll say is, before I leave, and this goes for you, Rob. If you haven't read it yet, and I haven't finished it, which I'm assuming it's going to be still good. It's an adaptation of Lost Stars, the manga series, which is actually pretty good. Like I
thought you were gonna say
comic book-
Police Academy. I was
Oh,
looking
I
forward to
wish.
that.
I love- dude,
adaptation.
I'll be your Huckleberry,
Kyle
okay?
Baker does Police Academy. Wouldn't you read that? All 6 movies? You would.
Dude,
Right? You
manga
would.
Police
See?
Academy just prints money. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
money. But no,
Chainsaw Man should draw that. Yeah.
so I'm just saying, go if you guys are looking for something, recommending that's a good, like, solid read. I think the manga Lost Stars stuff has been pretty impressive. As, like, again, it's not an action packed book, so there's a lot of, like, I thought that they've done a great job of making it, like, really dynamic for what it is. So definitely check it out. And again, Jason, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this.
Anytime, man. Good to see you, dude.
Rob, nice to meet you, sir.
Good to see you. Yeah,
Yep.
hit me up.
Okay.
We'll do the show sometime. All right.
Bye, guys. Mwah.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
Kissy kissy. Also, a fun thing about that vision, that Lost Stars manga, Jason, when you're done, you can turn it into a brick and build a house.
Brick house. There we go.
It's a brick. Ow.
You're gonna sing Big's house, okay? When she dies, we're gonna do Big's house, and you're gonna sing it. Because you got the octave, I heard it.
We mean with 4K. I was like, what does that have to do with comics? Like, I
Yeah.
see what he's saying, but you gotta understand. Like, I'm painting a picture when he's talking, so I'm seeing the images, and then 4K. I'm like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
They didn't release a Blu-ray, so a 4K Blu-ray, so I had to buy the comic. Is something only an excuse a man married more than 10 years would tell his wife. It's like, I gotta get all the comics because I have to. They're not. There's no 4K Bluray. Like, yeah, my wife goes, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
We own a duplex. We, like, okay, we own no room.
Right. No, it's like, yeah. I was kind of thinking about that when you guys were talking a minute ago. I was like, the old, like, Marvel comic adaptations of the films and stuff, like, are those are good, but were they good, or did they become good because they started to look like comics from the 70s and 80s? And, like,
Star Wars comics that Marvel was putting out in the 70s were made fun of. My uncles were making fun of them because Vader didn't look anything like Darth Vader. Like, the ships didn't look anything like the ships. The artwork was not. The Al Williamson comic strip was praised probably because it was black and white, but it wasn't produced on, like, it's a longer form serialized thing over a period of time, as opposed to, like, hey man, you got to draw this issue in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? We got to fill in the backstory on something and blah, 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 blah. So, and Darth Vader's helmet's hard to draw. I mean, like, you go back and look at those issues. And then the Dark Horse stuff, a lot of it, yeah, there's these, like, standouts, but like anything else, there's, like, plenty of tales from Jabba's palace that you don't remember.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
I don't like this, and it's not that he's doing that, but this whole, they don't draw comics like they used to. Well, no shit. I heard that at Comic-Con in 92 from all the guys who told me manga was going nowhere because they don't draw comics like they used to. Like, it's like, all right. Like
this right here, if I'm reading a new story I've never heard before and the story is engaging, I don't really care if that's the art style. Right. I care about holistically the story and the images coming together to make something.
But if I'm the editor, right, I'm in charge of this.
Yeah,
I would, and this would get me in trouble with fans, but I would want it to go further into cartooning. You know what I mean? Like further into cartooning, or further into something that is less a literal representation of the shot from, because what happens is you end up not going. It's either not the shot. It's karate so-so, Jason. That's why you're like, in t-shirts, they would call it generic. And I think that's a really fucked up term because it's
it's applying a standard to a description to someone's artistic, ability, which is not, every art is made with a compromise. No art that you love that's ever been brought to screen, video game, CD, album, whatever, was ever made with. You want to see something made with no compromise?
Except for
Francis Ford Coppola, how long fucking his movies take,
Except for my own, because I'm an uncompromising artist, and everybody knows this.
Right, but I'm not like
This is my favorite one from the comic, by the way. I thought that was cool. Like you see, like I liked right here where it's sort of like kind of like did like something else with what we got in the show. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I would just I just think with adaptations, if it's not there the weekend it came out, then it doesn't need to be a literal adaptation. You can bend the scenes a bit more, you can extend them, you can change a POV. You doesn't have to be like rigid to the material. And that if you ever like, even in the Ninja Turtles movie adaptation that Kevin Eastman did the breakdowns to and Jim Lawson drew,
I remember that.
It's had cut scenes in there. Like they had the original ending where they go to like a Marvel Comics and pitch the thing as a book and they get turned down.
Yeah. The original Star Wars comics had cut scenes in it too. Even like the original Empire Strikes Back line was coming out as the movie was coming out. And so there was like frames where like, the cutscene ended up on the 2011 Blu-ray where Yoda's throwing these like gold or silver bars, almost like Beskar bars at Luke, and he's like trying to cut him with the saber. That was the only reason why I knew that cutscene even existed. Was because of
but I'm going to tell you what probably made the decision to do it this way, Jason, is because they believe everything's canon. So if the comic book is canon and the show is canon, then the comic book has to be exactly like the show, no different. Otherwise, it's conflicting canon.
Right now,
it's not an adaptation at that point. It's literally you could literally just print screens out and put it in comic form and add balloons. So
yeah. Well, also I was gonna say is if you have those characters and that stuff being referenced in other places, it might need to exist in the comic book sphere as well, just for whatever reason. Like there is sort of an incentive to do it. But I like I do like adaptations. And I do like being like, oh, like how would this look and how would this scene play in comic books and stuff like that. I do enjoy that for what it is. But as I was looking at it, I was like, I didn't know if the value was there.
Or when a creator who has a really unique art style is going to draw an adaptation of something. I'm like, like when Kia Azayama was going to draw, and did the Phantom Menace adaptation, I was like, man, I can't wait to see what that looks like. It looks great. Like I was like, I wish it were bigger and 4 volumes instead of 2. Because it's so well drawn. So
yeah. But I downloaded the adaptation stuff. I don't know. There might only be one issue of the adaptation out on there right now, but I figured that was a good thing to get my kid into because he knows this. So there's that kids like familiarity. They know that thing that they liked and like, oh, and then so that kind of like ropes him in a little bit. But he did read all of those later.
Familiarity as we're aching for a Garbage Pail Kids movie to be made
by the guy from the Grizzly Strangler from the Red Letter Media guys.
People like familiarity.
Yeah,
it's not just kids. But yes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I mean, my kid every single time he ever it's not so true now that he's getting a little bit bigger. But every single time he doesn't believe me about something he's going to like, I'm like, I showed you everything you like in this world. Every food you've ever had, I've bought you. Therefore, I know what you will like, you little son of a. But yeah, anyways, but we're gonna read some comic books tonight because it's the reading night of the week. And I was like, well, let's get some comic books going, and I'm gonna hopefully get Penny into comic books today. Luke's already asked for comic books and read them, but
I'll answer this. It's right at the end of the show.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Does Rob draw comics? Joel Jensen asks, does Rob draw comics or his art used for something else? I have drawn comics. Every comic series I ever worked on was shelved. Did some covers for independent publishers and IDW. And and I'm currently drawing a series for a major publisher, but I won't believe it's real until they actually print the thing. Because my life, Jason, I work on things, they get shelved. Like that's it just got so frustrating.
It's gonna happen.
So frustrating.
It's gonna
I spent
happen.
years working on things, and
spoilers.
They never.
Spoilers. This one's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't believe it until it's there. And I do draw something. I do draw other stuff. I've worked on video games and T-shirts and all sorts of stupid shit.
What were some of the games that you've done?
Spyro Reimagined Trilogy, Crash Bandicoot 4, Overwatch 2.
Overwatch. Oh, yeah.
And you may have heard of them.
No, don't know what any of that stuff is.
And my Overwatch 2 stuff, very minimal. I got
Very
out of that
minimal?
one fast. Yeah, I wasn't digging that process. Love the
Yeah.
universe, just wasn't my cup of tea. The studio.
I like when girls dress up in the Overwatch costumes in real life. I like that. That's fun.
I love
But,
cosplaying in general, man. Even when I was a kid and cosplay was lame. So the girls would the older ladies would dress up as Klingon women, but man, their boobs would be popping right out. So even if they were not the best, but you were like, that's where I learned to turn.
Yeah.
My wife hates this phrase, and I get it, but it's an older term.
Boobs?
You ever hear the term butterface? First time I ever heard that term was at San Diego Comic-Con in 1992. Some wild-looking, fanged Klingon women came by, but boobs was a popping, and my uncle goes, butterface. And I was like, what's a butterface? This comic book artist almost spit up. He almost spit up all over his art. It was the funniest thing. Yeah.
I had a picture I wanted to show on the screen, but I don't think I have it now. What the hell? Oh well. I had one last thing to show, but we'll show it tomorrow. But tonight I'm gonna be
Maybe
back.
we will. We don't
here
know.
it is.
We may not be here. It's
No, there was this picture I put on Twitter, and I just got this off of Reddit. I don't know where it originally comes from or anything, but I was laughing at this because remember when these were our
I had
Halloween
that
costumes
Superman.
as
I
kids?
had that Superman, Jason.
Yeah.
I had that, and I have photos of me in that Superman outfit.
I was this
I
Darth
can go
Vader.
dig it up.
I was this Darth Vader. I was this 3PO, and this Wicket. Also, I was
My mom.
I was Hulk, but not in this line.
I was
they
only.
just painted me green.
I only.
Dracula.
I only wanted to be Superman. I hated everything. So my mom hated that outfit so much. It disturbed her even then that she sewed me an actual cloth with like full cloth cape Superman outfit so I wasn't walking around in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
It was like this garbage bag material. It was not. Yeah. And those
Look,
I still remember the
two Darth
rubber
Vaders.
bands. Yeah.
And 2 Evil Knievel's. But
You want to hear
you
a t-shirt story? Want to hear
Yeah.
a t-shirt story? Really quickly. So right before I left the studio, it was around 2012. They had this cape program for kids, right? For boys, tees, where you could get a shirt and it was a Velcro cape. And they're like, what do we have in the licenses that have capes? And so like Darth Vader. Like, oh, that's right. Well, I'll get a Darth Vader, little Darth Vader cape. And then someone was like, let's do it for men's. Men's will want to wear capes. And they made men's shirts with capes. And the Walmart fucking person was like, I am not putting 40-year-old men's shirts with capes on. I'm like, do it. I'm like, you know what? You're not thinking creatively enough. Do the Budweiser, but with a Budweiser cape. I'm telling you. Captain Beer Pong.
If it's ironic,
and you do like,
if it's ironic, it's on.
Right. They were not willing to go far enough. Like,
Yeah.
like, it has to be like, and so then someone goes, well, what about Spider-Man? And they put Spider-Man with the cape. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like we got to put a license on it. You can't put Spider-Man with the cape. What year are we in? Like, this is like the horrid 70s where Darth Vader has a picture of his own. I mentioned that one right there, where Darth Vader has a picture of his own face on his own costume. He's wearing the mask. Why does he need another face? Like I was like,
yeah.
What is this?
I had the Wicket costume of this. I think I got it in the early 90s, around 12 years old, just as to like collect. And I believe the Wicket one didn't put the Wicket onto the chest. It had just moved to a furry vinyl costume, but I'm not positive about that. I need to look it up. But we should definitely, I mean, they're so creepy. We should definitely do were these weren't rubies, right? These what were these called? Do you remember what
What
the
are you
what
talking
these
about?
what the costume?
Oh, the name? I don't know. I'm a
Yeah.
Superman. I didn't look at the
Yeah.
tags when I was 5. Or,
Yeah.
You know, like-
Well, anyways, I can't remember if there's rubies, but we should pull all of them up because they're so fucking.
It was at every 7-Eleven. Oh, no, I was at like every supermarket. They had that one aisle, and they would be hanging on coat hangers. Like they were like cardboard coat hangers where the costumes would go onto the cardboard coat hanger, and at the top of the cardboard coat hanger, it was the face mask, and it would just be these line of masks with costumes.
Yeah.
And that was it. And everyone got one, but my mom sewed me my own, and I loved that That was the one thing I took with me when she abandoned me. I
Yeah.
took the Superman outfit with me, and one time at school, I wore the cape. I tried to wear the costume under my clothes, so I had the cape tucked in my pants, and I was like, "This guy can't fucking put this shit under his clothes." I learned superhero shit don't work that day. You know,
Yeah.
it's got made fun of for wearing a costume under my clothes.
Well, also the boots.
And I realized that's when I realized, where's he put the boots? You can't
Where's he
put
put
your
the boots?
boots and then your shoes over the boots.
Nope.
Yeah,
You can't do it.
makes no sense.
You have to hide them in phone booths and then run into the phone booths and put the boots on and hope that the boots are there every time. That's something I can
Phone
think.
boots, Jason. That's why they're called phone boots, not boots. Boots.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back. I'll be back tonight, very late, to talk about Andor, my first impressions, and then tomorrow morning or tomorrow, me and Rob will come back at noon. Can you do noon tomorrow? Because I got to get the kids from early day tomorrow. So
Yeah, sure.
we'll be back at noon, and we will be reviewing the episode. And tonight's more of a free form. Oh, what did we think? And then tomorrow is going to be a digging in review.
Tonight is for James and Max. It's for them to.
Tonight is for Max to cut
unleash.
loose and tell you guys how it is. Tonight, Max is going to tell you how it is. Jedi.
She's gonna give her review of Andor through interpretive dance. I'm looking forward to it.
It could happen. I'm not promising
I'm
it
looking
will,
forward. Can't wait.
but it always could happen.
It would be
All
the
right,
greatest
everyone.
show ever made on YouTube. 100%. 100%.
Maybe if we hey Max, let's have a couple of beers before the show. All right, Max, I think you should do an interpretive dance. Should be like, here it is. I'm like, Max, Cher would do it. No, okay. Anyways, we'll be back. We'll
on
be
an
back
aircraft carrier.
Yeah, 4 clones. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Tonight, whatever. Fuck off. Bye.
What's that I spy my little eye?
Right one. That ain't the right one.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.